In 2026, having an AI chatbot in your business isn't a competitive advantage anymore. It's the bare minimum. The real value is what you build around the model that provides all of that context about your business, allowing it to actually take tasks like an employee. I run my business fully through Claude, and that's because of the structure that I've set up so it knows everything about my business, my clients, my CRM. It can draft me proposals, invoices in Xero. It's a full automation wheelhouse. I'm going to show you exactly how to get set up in your own business, moving from AI as just a chatbot to a 24/7 agent that can actually execute on tasks with full business context. So to get set up, you need a Claude license. This can start at the Pro plan, which is $17 USD per month. You also need to install Git on your machine. This is about version control, allowing us to push all the changes from our folders and files into the cloud, allowing it multiple different devices to see the same bits of information. And then I do use Fork as well to manage that easier. The other tool that you'll need is VS Code, and this is an IDE, an integrated development environment, which basically just allows us to look at our files and run Claude code inside of it. You also need to create a GitHub account, which is basically our file storage for all of this information. It's free to set up. Just make sure that anything you put in here is private. For this example, we're going to be doing John's Plumbing, and so we're going to create a new repository. You just go up here and press create. Put in some information, make sure this is set to private, and go on and press create at the very end. Now we have this empty repo with just a README in here as well. The easiest way of thinking of what this is just a folder at the end of the day. What we can do is copy the clipboard in here, and then we're going to go onto Fork. We're going to do Control and N, and then we've got John's Plumbing pop up, and we're going to click clone. Basically, this is just taking a version of this folder and putting it on our local device. Now what we can do is go on the top right and go open in Visual Studio Code. And then that will pop up, and then we'll see an interface like this. We're going to come over to the left tab here, and this little 3 blocks and a fourth one on a different angle, which is the extensions tab. We're going to search in here for Claude, and we'll see the first one that pops up is Claude Code for VS Code. You need to install that. Once that's installed, you'll see the little symbol in the top right, and we can click on it here, and then you'll get prompted to log in with your account. Once logged in, you'll see everything like this. I've just zoomed it in so it's easy to see. This Claude Code is just like speaking to your Claude in your desktop app or your browser, but this time it actually has access to everything we have in this folder structure here. At the moment we have nothing, but what I'm going to prompt it to do is basically set up a repo here of our folder structure to organize all the information that we're going to provide it. It's going to go, hey, can I run this command? Yes, it's just going to be creating the folders for me, so I will go ahead and let that run. Basically what it does is we've got a Claude file here where it's going to have a claude.md, which is basically its overall system instructions, but also we have docs in here. This is where we provide any additional content we have about our business, whether it's our business, our clients, communications, integrations, marketing and sales. You can add as many as you want in here as well. So that's great, we've got all the structure there, but now we need to provide it information about us. So what we can do is go into our business and go, what information can we provide? I've got AI to generate a marketing brief, so I can upload that to the marketing folder in there. We can see it's in here, John's marketing brief. I've got a business overview document that I can put in there. I've got a sales funnel that I can put into the sales one, and I have an invoice template which we can just put into the sales one as well. Now what this allows me to do is obviously see the template in here, but I can just tell Claude to go and generate them with new information. So I can ask it, create an invoice looking at the sales template, the docx, for Jim Jones for 8 hours of work, $120 an hour, invoice 01, and just use the rest as placeholder text. And so what it will do is actually look in here, look at this template, and then generate me out an invoice. And then about 10 seconds later, we can see it runs a whole bunch of commands using Python to generate it. And then it's created this invoices, and we've got Jim Jones, and it's got the information in here. The rest is all made up. It's got the 8 hours, and I can send that through. Now, we don't want to tell it every single time to look in the sales thing, look at this template and generate it. This is where skills come in. And basically, this is a set of instructions for the agent to follow. Any process that you have in your business, we can turn that into a skill. So all I'm going to ask it to do is say, create a skill to generate my invoices properly using the template like we just did. And so what it does is look at what it just did. It will then create a markdown in the skills folder here. So this is one that we didn't have previously. We have our docs, which is all our business intelligence around it. Then we have our skills, which are our automated workflows we want to have. It then creates a generate invoice skill. We can click on skill.md, mark down as just a type of file that it can view, and we can see what it's set up, when to use it, how to do it, what are the inputs, the different rules, and we can go and edit this over time and provide it more information to get more accurate. It also has a script in here, so to generate this invoice, it will run this Python script with the valid information. One of the things you may have noticed is that all of these files and folders are marked as green, and this means they're only sitting on our local desktop. They're not pushed live to the cloud, so our other devices won't see these changes. So what we need to do is come into Fork here. We can then see everything on the local changes. We can go, I'll just make it bigger, and then go stage on here. Then we add a little message what we've changed. We've added the structure and invoice skills, and then we can go commit and push. You may have to hit the drop down for that. Then what we'll see is we've got this version now where we've added this structure and invoice skills. These hopefully will not go, will come away from being green. And then if I open up this repository on a different device, we'll be at the same place here. The importance of doing this versioning is in case things go wrong. If I make some changes in here that create skills, or I've got an AI agent that goes a bit loose and deletes a whole bunch of things, then I can always revert back, which kind of keeps everything safe in that way. So it's really important, as you make some progression, remember to go and commit and push that. Now this is really at a stage where you need to go in there and have a bit of a play around, start uploading your business information and documents, and creating skills for those workflows that are often quite custom to your business, especially depending on the industry that you're in. But regardless of that, the next steps from here should all be the same. Once you have all of that context built up, you start to have some skills as well. It'd be great, instead of just having it working in here, that we could actually connect it to the systems that we use every day, whether that's our email account, whether that's our Xero for our financials, maybe it's even Notion or some other CRM for customer management. Claude Code can connect all into that, providing additional context, but again, allowing it to actually do things. So to properly set up integrations, what I do is come back into Claude desktop app, or even on the browser version, and then we can go into the side panel here and go onto customize and click on connectors. You can see all the ones that I currently have connected: Canva, GitHub, Gmail. All of my stuff's pretty much in the Google environment. I have Notion, which manages all my project documents and kind of my CRM as well, and some other ones. For you, you'd go on add and go browse connectors, and then you can search from a huge range of different ones, whether it's the Microsoft environment or some very specific custom software that only you may use. The most universal one is email management. Any business owner or manager will get a huge amount of emails coming through, whether that's new leads, clients, opportunities, all sorts, or even staff management. So it's really important to connect into those tools. So I'm using Gmail for an example. Here's an example of a lead coming through from a neighbor in Riccarton, has a leak on the hot water cylinder. Let's see what Claude can do in terms of automatically responding to this for us. Once you've connected your email service provider in here, make sure to restart Claude and your VS Code Claude, and then you can ask it questions like reading your emails and even get it to respond. I created a skill for draft email responses, and so it's going to read that, so it puts the output in my tone of voice. And I've asked it to go get my latest email inquiry with the subject XYZ, and then draft the response inside of Gmail as well. And so all I need to do, let that run, and I've got a draft response I can send off to the customer automatically. If I now go back into the email tab and I go refresh on here, we should see that we actually have a draft attached that should load. As we see, it is loading a bit slowly down the bottom here, and we can see that we've got a full-on response custom to the input that was here in my tone of voice, and then I can immediately go and send that off. The other thing that I have integrated is it can go and look at my Google Calendar, and so then when it's asking for times, it can actually give accurate times. It can go, look, I actually have a free afternoon from 3 p.m. onwards, and so in the email it drafts and puts that through as well. So the more tools you can connect it to, the better your outputs are going to be. And this is where it gets really exciting, when you chain a lot of integrations and skills together. I have all of my meetings with clients in my business transcribed using AI. I have those meeting notes, I have my emails back and forth with conversation messages, and I have voice messages that I leave myself in relation to those clients. When it comes time to generate a proposal, These Claude agents can go and look at all those data sources, read my skill to generate a proposal out, it generates it, I then human review it. 99% of the time it has been perfect because it has the word for word what I am saying and what they are saying. That automatically gets sent out. Once they approve it, it can auto invoice them in Xero as well, and it becomes this fully automated system as it continues to grow and grow and grow. Then you start having a range of skills, a range of different connections, and then it becomes a fully automated system. But you've got to start here getting the baseline done first. And this is kind of just the tip of the iceberg and where it gets. It is so custom to your business information, the software and systems that you use, the skills and workflows that you create, that it's not easy just to put out a YouTube template and you have to copy it. You actually have to do a bit of work yourselves in getting this stuff set up. The benefit as well here is once you have this repository set up, you can pass it on to different staff members if there's not that fully confidential information, or you can pass off different versions. But also you can use that with different models. You don't always have to use Claude for this. Ollama is a platform that allows you to run models locally. So if you have a computer that's powerful enough, you could actually run it without having any kind of API or subscription costs and have an AI agent that runs over all of this information. I've helped over 15 businesses right across New Zealand with their AI transformation. So if you want to stop playing around with AI chatbots and get real wins from agents, reach out in the link in the description below.